When the Doomsday Clock was created in 1947, the greatest danger to humanity came from nuclear weapons, in particular from the prospect that the United States and the Soviet Union were headed for a nuclear arms race. The bulletin considered possible catastrophic disruptions from climate change in its hand-setting deliberations for the first time. The Doomsday Clock is a symbol that represents the likelihood of a man-made global catastrophe. Maintained since 1947 by the members of the Bulletin in the atomic sciences, the clock is a metaphor for threats to humanity from unchecked scientific and technical advances. The clock represents the hypothetical global catastrophe as midnight, and the Bulletin's option on how to close the world is a global catastrophe as the number of minutes to midnight assessed in January of each year. The main factors including the clock are nuclear risk and global warming. The Bulletin Science and Security Board also monitors new developments in life science technology that could inflict irrecoverable harm to humanity. The clock was set at 2 minutes to midnight in January 2018 and left unchanged in 2019 due to twin threats of nuclear weapons and the increasing effects of global warming. On January 23, 2020, it was moved forward 100 seconds before midnight, based on the increased threats to global stability posed by a nuclear blunder and the rapidly increasing of climate change. In 1962, the concept of mutually assured destruction started to play a major part in the defense policy of the U.S. President Kennedy's Secretary of Defense. Robert McNamara set out in a speech to the American Bar Foundation a theory of flexible nuclear response. With both the United States and the Soviet Union stockpiling in nuclear weapons, fears of the nuclear warfare pervaded American society and culture in the 1950s. Schools began issuing dog tags to students so their families could identify their bodies in the event of an attack. The U.S. government provided instructions for the building and the equipping bomb shelters in the basements or backyards. And some cities constructed multiple shelters, and nuclear bomb drills became a routine part of disasters and preparedness. The civil defense film Duck and Cover, first screened in 1952, sought out to help school children protect themselves from an injury during a nuclear attack by instructing them to find a shelter and cover themselves to prevent burns. Though ducking and covering hardly would have helped to prevent serious injury in a real atomic bombing, these rehearsals for disaster gave American citizens an illusion to control the face of atomic warfare.